Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am on Ramel, and today, yes, this is not my normal look, but
This is normal.
no, not at all. But
It should be.
it very much should be normal with Dookie Woogie's, moving her heads.
There's an inside joke.
Perhaps one day I'll explain what a Dookie Woogie
You're
is.
probably wondering why we look so weird.
Yes, we're at his place for special building not tutorial, but video.
Yes.
Yes. So
we're odd looking because Onvanel forgot to bring his own blocks.
yeah. So lucky enough, you built us as well. So what he's gonna do is build that set.
Ta-da!
So let's get to it. So yeah, no, pretty much the history behind this was you had gone.
I've had this for like over a year.
But what? How did you? Where was it? Like Valley Village find, or was it a
No,
Kijiji?
this was Kijiji.
Right, because you had gone like it was a hunk of Bionicles that had decent amount of regular Bionicle stuff in, but two system sets intermixed in there.
So
Now
it should be complete because I went to the inventory, but it might not be. So I might have to quickly rush and get a piece.
I think you're technically missing a Visorak or something, but or you're missing because there should be 8 and 2 different kinds of 2 of them. So
I may have 8, but they may not be the correct kinds.
yeah, but when you got this, basically you had gone 2 hunks of 2 different sorry, hiccups. I had Gatorade and it's giving me some gas. I made like hiccups.
Well, there are 8 of them here.
Let's see. You have 2 of the brown.
There,
Yeah, you might be right. But basically, you've gone in the Kijiji lot, basically this and the Visorak battering ram.
Well,
Both
one
incomplete.
weapon for no cam isn't here, but that's literally not important. For
I'm-
this experience.
Do you not have her weapon, or is this thing somewhere else?
I don't remember.
Where's Manua? Oh, there he's black. He's blending in with everything. Okay.
Alright, we're opening the instructions. Oh, it's not punch.
But essentially, we got 2 sets, and they're both incomplete. This was a little
What
less.
drives us nuts is they've got the wrong weapons. Crazy.
Yeah. The worst thing is that, like, all the weapons are designed to look like one of the actual characters' weapons, and yet in all the sets and such, they never give them all. Like, the only one who actually has a proper weapon given to him, I think, is Vakama. Everyone else seems to.
It's the red guy.
It's always the red. It's always the red. But we had gone 2 incomplete. So well, you got 2 incomplete sets. You sold basically the incomplete Visorak battering ram to me, and then you kept this one. This one was a little less incomplete. A little less complete, but it was the more interesting and valuable of the 2. Like it had all the major parts and like the rocks, I believe
It was
it was all
missing
there.
some plates and like some of these.
Bricks, just kind of
So,
smaller.
like some of these stuff. Nothing. The only really important piece that was missing was one of these little old school finger hinges in light bluish gray.
Yeah, these pieces. This was the only set that it came in
cost me
gray.
like quite a couple
Because-
dollars.
Well, these hinges basically were discontinued. Pretty sure that's this year,
This is the last because this is the only set that has like
post 2004,
Yeah, post color change.
and this is 2005. I mean, let's be honest, they only used it because they probably still had the mold, and it was the only piece that worked for the part of the build where it's going to use that.
They've come out with pieces since that will work just as well.
Well, yeah, since then, but that was too long.
What's important is the
Let's be honest, these aren't used for the hinge part. They're used for the holes in the plate. So,
stud holes.
honestly, this is one of those sets that we only had in one of the magazines that we got as kids. And I remember even then looking and going, why is the Visorak head upon the system piece?
Seem to be
Already we're missing a piece.
dark gray 2x6 plate.
Dark-
Give me a moment.
How do you miss a Dark Blade 2x6 plate?
I have no idea.
My question is, oh my. I know what I need.
What?
Technical. What I need
Alright.
is
We're good.
good. Good. I'm glad you're good. If you weren't good, I almost fell off my chair. It's fine.
This is a bit of an interesting set so far. Just the building process is
You put plates together and a few bricks. How's that interesting?
well, it's just the design of it.
I mean, to be honest, though, it does look... I mean, I guess there is a little bit of truth, because normally in system sets you would
it
have,
definitely
like...
does remind me of Tower of Toa, because it's dark gray and black, and plates and bricks. And barnacle lines. No, that makes sense.
Mm. True. I guess we might have lead right here in the corner, and people can't quite see my fingers.
I was feeling more like a 2005 Technic Titan or something. Wow.
Those Technic arms were used a lot. The Barnacle Titans in the early years. Now, honestly, like with this set, I remember like in the catalogs looking at it and going, huh? Because at least in 2005, all the system sets were canon for the most part. Like you all saw them in the comics, or referenced in the books, or technically even saw them in the movies, in the Battle Net movie. Except for this one, which was a Walmart exclusive, I think.
Toys R Us, maybe?
It was either Walmart or Toys R Us exclusive. I don't remember which one. It was an exclusive to one of them. And it was also, like, the one that... Like, the other three all had, like, actual Visorak and or, Kakans in gold, like, to create, like, They all had more Bionicle parts in this. I would say this one was the most actually system-heavy. Let's be honest, the only Bionicle parts in this are...
Two of them.
Two of what? The plates?
Oh, these, catapult-looking things.
I don't think those catapults. I'm pretty sure those things, have the rocks rolled down them. I think. But no, like I said, I think the only Bionicle parts of this set are the 4 silver weapons. Nothing else is actually technically a Bionicle part. I mean, well, yes, technically the Figs and the Visorak are Bionicle parts, but like we're thinking...
Even this is not a Bionicle. This came with the Rock Raiders first.
Well, yes. But I mean, Plato had it, so it can claim being a Bionicle part, right?
I mean, even in this melded color, it came in Knight's Kingdom at the same time.
No, that was a year after. The melded ones were designed for these.
Okay, so yeah, this is a Bionicle part then.
Because...
It's melded.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go that way, yes, the part that first came with Bionicle, but like actually no Technic Bionicle specific parts are pretty much just like a couple of these and a couple Takanuva staves.
No sockets at all. I think that's old.
It's very, very little, like really not a lot. So.
I may have grabbed an old gray piece, but yeah.
I'll say this about your mock of Onvermel. It's easier to puppet around because he's a little bit more stable than mine. Because he has slightly less points of articulation, or his articulation is more solid. Because mine has like a weird waist jiggle.
Yes.
And in general, my neck is mixel ball joint, but like old style. So, what is the point of this video? People may ask. Not really. Content, I guess.
Well, it's a Bionicle set that none of us have experienced before, even though it's a system set. But if any Bionicle fans, know stuff about system sets, it's us.
This is actually one reason why I wanted to do the Bionicle channel actually as a whole, was, or at least talk a lot about Bionicle, because not only am I
a very large
Bionicle fan, like you could say, a lot of people probably think I'm just into Bionicle sometimes, but I'm also a really huge system fan. Like, I have a lot of system, and I grew up with system first, and honestly, for many years, I always liked system more than Bionicle. But Bionicle's always stuck around. So I'm not like a Bionicle fan who has dabbled in system. I'm not a system fan who's dabbled in Bionicle. No, I'm
a true blue fan of both.
I'm a true blue fan of Lego. And so, and I was also, and I did have one system Bionicle set, so I was able to bridge the two together. But like
yes, as kids, Onvermel here was the only one in our family who actually had a system Bionicle set.
I had Tower of Toa. I still really like that set, actually. It's half built right now. But lucky enough, here you off. Hiccups.
I bought myself a Tower of Toa a while back.
Sadly, did not have the Lake Gold Kakan. Very sad.
Yeah, I bought it sealed even.
Well, I think you were.
Cost that much.
It was like what, $50, maybe 55.
Yeah.
It was pretty much retail. I think this set's gone up a little bit more.
Once you tacked on the shipping, yeah, it was a little bit pricey because
but like for the actual base price, it was really just retail. But no, with doing the channel, half my angle was going to be the fact that I'm not just a Barnacle fan. I'm also a system fan. So
Which
when it
is
came
why the podcast half the time only sometimes talking Barnacle.
it's like if I want to actually talk about the system Barnacle sets, which I really want to do at some point for set reviews, is because my issue with
Certain
LJ's
set
reviews, which is the only, is that he's looking at it mostly from a Barnacle fan and this that. Like I know he's also with those he actually was going for his personal opinion. I don't think he has as much experience with system.
Especially at the time of his reviews.
I mean, he's got a lot more experience now, but as someone who grew up with both system and Bionicle, especially because his opinion on Taratoa grinded my gears a little bit. Bionicle pun, the Bionicle reference, good pun there, folks. But I very much, had a opinions to say, and yeah, so I'm like, and the other thing with the channel is like, I'm not also a builder, I'm also a collector. Like, I'm pretty much 50-50 on that. Like, I have the most Barnacle sets in the sibling collection. And to some extent, I also am like...
That's not counting doubles, though. If we counted doubles, it might be different.
I don't know, I got a lot of Aki. But, like, my collection is the most complete.
I can make a lot of Aki.
Like, well, let's say my collection is actually complete for sets outside of system.
That's how you have the most.
You and Ak have not gone to that. Oh, sorry, you and Zach have. Bleh. Sorry, the green shirt's throwing me off, okay? Mr.
Clever ploy.
But no, it's just like...
You probably thought it was that.
I'm a system Lego fan. I'm a Barnacle Lego fan. I'm a Lego collector. I'm a Lego builder. I feel like I have enough. I'm a jack of all trades when it comes down to Lego, where most YouTubers seem to be a little bit more focused on a single aspect.
Whether it's collecting or just Barnacle. Or
it's like some Barnacle fans are collectors and builders, but they focus on just Barnacle.
Exactly.
So by the time I get to the system sets, I feel like I've covered all the bases with them.
There's one thing, we have not come across very many fans who have the same sort of knowledge, even.
This has been a problem even with, our Lego user group that we're part of that. Sure, there are some amazing mockers, with them, some of them.
But they're not collectors. Their knowledge of Lego
There's a couple, we have a couple who are collectors.
There's collectors, there's mockers, but there's not collecting and mocking. The same person.
And, if you try going to them and saying, oh, do you know, let's say...
Do you know what Mobile Force is?
Do you know Captain Cold from Ice Planet? They won't. But this helps that we also had... We religiously read the Lego magazines as we got them out, and so did our older siblings. And we perused Bricklink, so we're very...
We window shopped Bricklink. That's where a lot of our knowledge came from.
And Brickopedia, too.
Not so much Brickopedia. Very much...
And also because we're on,
database.
But even just being on some the older forums too, like Classic Castle, Classic Space, and such, we got some knowledge from there. But like I said, we've always had kind of a disconnect from a lot of other Lego fans because our knowledge of Lego is a lot more versed, at least expansive. Where you'll get someone who's like, "Oh, we never had Dark Ages." Most Lego fans we know had Dark Ages, so they missed out on a good 10-year portion. Or they bought the sets but didn't know anything about any of the minifigs names or what the theme was called to an extent.
A lot of people recognize the themes.
Or they'll recognize themes up to going backwards up to 2001 while we know everything basically before that. Okay, perusing Bricklink does a lot.
Oh, looks like I didn't have enough of those dark blue slopes.
What dark blue slopes?
1 by 2 by 3.
Needed 2 more?
Need 2 more.
Oh my gosh. This is rather embarrassing, folks. I apologize for the inconvenience of the sad, despicable... Oh, look, he's back. Oh, great.
Well, thankfully, I had some just kicking around. One of these is the wrong mold.
So
that's another thing that we're really knowledgeable out.
Mold types and shapes.
You can look at a mold and say, yeah, that's from basically from this era, and that's from that era.
That's the collector in us, I'd say.
Definitely.
I mean, a lot of mockers can know the difference because different molds might have different aspects.
There are some people who know, the part number of all these parts.
Yeah, okay, we're not that crazy.
Crazy.
We're not that crazy, but...
I think those are also people who do a lot of, more Bricklink selling of parts.
Oh, definitely. But I would say, for the most part, compared to a lot of other Lego fans, because we never grew out of Lego, and we've had way too much time to peruse.
We were homeschooled, so we had a lot of extra time.
But also because all of us siblings were into Lego, like almost equally the same amount. If one of us didn't know the information, one of the other four was bound to know. And so we kind of were just a collective, like, library of Lego knowledge. Because when we were younger, we didn't, Zach and I didn't know as much about Bionicle, but, the Lost Toa was the real Bionicle encyclopedia man at the time.
He was definitely much more into the lore than...
At least up to 2003. After, like, once 2004 hit, then it was kind of a free-for-all. And none of us knew what was happening in 2004 or 5. It wasn't until 2006 that us younger were on top of it. Basically, because 2005, no one cared what was going on.
It was very interesting. I kind of like it.
All we knew in 2005 was that,
This actually would have been a really cool set to have back in the day, I think.
Okay, it would have been cool, but there would have been one problem with it.
Because it's basically kind of like a castle. We didn't have very many castles.
As someone speaking from experience, I tried making Taratoa a cool location, but the Bionicle fan of me knew, like, okay, I'm using all my castle figs, but this is a Bionicle location. It just doesn't work.
Well, I think the biggest
eventually
problem
it did. It was for
Toa
I did use it for my skeletons.
It's a giant mask. Because this you can remove the Visorak things pretty easily.
True.
And you just kind of get this generic wall with some round weird Bionicle lettering.
So, but with the dark blue, doesn't this turn to an evil crowny fortress? Like Lord Galarian's evil lair where he meets up with all the other evil people?
Sure.
The hooded figures walk into a place. See, he's also been this wrong. He put the stickers on too early. So early,
well,
he doesn't even remember doing it.
Because I didn't.
Oh, that's bending forward.
Yeah, but why?
Is the whole plate too, like the whole black plate thing, too far forward?
Yes, that'd be it.
Okay, the white piece from here looks like it's that one newer piece from the way over here.
You can definitely tell that, yeah, that one piece didn't exist back then.
Because basically it's a tie. I can't know the lighting showing it, but basically a 1x4 tile studs on both sides, which is a piece that exists now. But back in the ancient year 2005,
nope.
No, it really didn't.
Do I not have those either?
Hmm?
Don't have any 2x2 corner plates.
What color?
Dark gray or dark bluish gray.
So yeah, this is a very common occurrence. Every time we piece together a set using crinkling, without fail, we miss at least one or two pieces. When I was piecing together my Bionicle Master Builder set, let's just say there was a few things that I was missing. Like I think by the end of it, I was only missing like a few Technic pieces, like Technic pins. On my video, I think I mentioned which ones I'm missing, but this is a very reoccurring problem when we build.
Happens every time.
Every time. And at this
I
point,
don't even know how.
If we knew how, it wouldn't happen, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
But honestly, I feel like it's kind of weird because I think the 2005 system sets were the best built sets.
As far as system, like as far as
I mean, okay, I'll say this: I only own the Lava Chamber Bridge set.
I believe it's Lava Chamber Bridge, yeah.
And that's the only other one I own. That the Visorak battering ram, Taratoa, and then you have this. So we don't have as much to go off by.
We basically have a lot of 2005 experience, the one 2006 set, and no 2007.
But just looking at the sets, like I've always felt like the 2005s were the best built sets. However, 2005 had one really, really big problem. And they're standing right down there.
That is where 2005...
I like the Visorak. I think the Visorak were actually really clever.
Well, you know, they have their little jumping function.
Can't quite see here, but now you saw it. And no, the jumping function actually worked quite well. And the fact that they're all the same colors, whatever, who really cares, it's a horde. It's a cheap way to get a giant horde of Visorak, which is nice. But the statuettes of the minifigs really is the...
They definitely improved upon them right away.
And then they took a step back with the Mari by cheaping out.
So 2006,
by far is the best minifigs and like weapons and everything. But I do feel like 2005 had better sets than 2006. Part of that is just the canonicity of it, I think, because they are actually visually shown. But they also aren't as obnoxious, because 2006 likes slapping masks on everything, like Brutaka's and Axon's mask onto everything.
Yeah.
Which to me just felt very... Especially because Brutaka's mask is only 2 in existence, so when you have a giant one on Brutaka's Stronghold, it's just like, why is that there?
Well, obviously it's not a real mask.
No, that'd be a really big asshole Mac. But it's just one of those things where it's like...
It's like a Tower Call. There's a giant Doom on it.
The system sets just have so many creative liberties put into them. Like, it feels like this 2005, they actually, like, the part of the story team, they were actually, like, highly discussing the locations to build. And then for 2006, it was like, okay, you got a couple locations. What are we going to do for the other 4 sets? I don't know, slap a bunch of Bionicle weapons together and make it look like, I don't know, lava sled.
That was crazy sled here.
And then it's like, well, there's like with the Proctor Stronghold, you have the chariot that I think Huki rides, and it's like, what is this?
Sometimes I think I'm missing it. Oh, it's just that color.
I don't know.
Instructions from this era, not the greatest.
I don't know. 2006 definitely just felt like there was just so many creative liberties taken. While at least 2007, outside the minifigs, I felt like.
Well, the jellyfish.
Well, okay, that's okay. This is a joke that we came up with before. That out of the 3 sets, the Toad Train Crawler, almost everything that's set is canon. Like, it's either you see it in the promotional videos for Tomari, it's actually in Biosector 1. The medium set, as far as I'm aware, nothing's canon. That's the one that's got Toy Yellow, the weird Huki with the wrong mask, although...
Isn't that the set with the jellyfish, though?
No. But then the smallest set, the only thing canon in there is the jellyfish, because it's the same from the big set. So in that set, the only thing that's canon is the jellyfish. Because it's like, well, that's not canon, that's not canon. Well, the jellyfish is canon. Which, I don't know.
Techniques to it. I definitely can see how they would change them now, if they did this set.
I mean, nowadays there's so many more pieces, and they're probably more technical.
I think I just have the wrong piece here.
Was it supposed to be a 3 long pin?
Yes.
So many interruptions, so many pauses for us all. Get this off of my head. I beheaded myself again. I beheaded myself.
I think I just grabbed the wrong piece. Maybe.
It's.
I didn't grab enough. Maybe it still uses this piece. I'm not sure.
One thing they're the most annoying thing about having a purple mock as your self mock is purple almost never shows up good on pictures or videos in the proper shade.
I just didn't grab enough earlier.
For whatever reason, purple in like videos or pictures always seems to come with a little like the redness of it. It always seems to be like a more dulledness. Because like old purple, whenever I take pictures, it doesn't look as like it does in person. And I don't know how to color correct that. It's very annoying.
That one red piece is really odd.
I mean, that's kind of normal though to have a reddish color piece to act.
Just a single red piece. Like it's the white, since there's enough of it.
At least it's not like, at least you can't really see the red piece. Like it's not like these Technic bushings are red like new sets do.
It depends where you're looking.
But it's mostly covered up. That's really not that bad. Like, newer sets, I would say, do it worse.
Okay, that whole clipped elastic band thing, that definitely could have been improved on. I'm not entirely sure how at the top of my head, but it definitely could have been.
Improved on?
Alright.
Yeah, there's more they could do. I just look at it and go...
And, I guess you hook these things over that.
Yeah.
I never realized that.
So that the mouse can attach.
On the screen.
It's one of those things I keep forgetting happens. They can do, and then I look at pictures and I'm like, oh, right! That can happen.
I wonder if I can add the right ones. I don't think it really matters.
I don't think it does.
I mean, it looks like they're showing these 2 guys.
Probably. That is one that... There's the... I feel like there isn't supposed to be 2 of this guy. I don't know.
The Visorak may be incorrect, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter.
I think I have, like...
another dark gray plate.
I'm pretty sure... I'm gonna just grab the wrong plates to some extent, but no, as this is with the Visorak, I think those little Visorak minifigs I have upwards of 30, I think. Because I have 2 complete sets that both have 8, and then I have like another, I think, 10. So I think I think I have about 30 of them.
Although do a very good job.
I also have like over a dozen
like
Tohordika.
Reminds me of Vladic Encounter Catapult.
But worse. But worse. This is my butler, but worse. I don't know why but worse sounds really funny to me.
And I've got a bunch of 1x2 bricks.
Are those to connect to this rod?
And these 1x8 plates. I may have to go through these instructions again, but
as far as
I think I've just got too many pieces of some other kind.
Were there any 1x8 plates to begin with?
Yes, there was. There's like one right there. For sure. Fascinating. And this one goes up here. Yeah, one of these things just is a design.
Or just really like sitting there.
Well, it is now complete.
Let's take a look at this puppy. Also, this is...
I can see where these things ought to go, but the instructions definitely don't show them going there.
Oh. Like where? Like on the side?
Right there! But the instructions clearly show nothing there.
So you think they should go there, but nothing's showing going there?
Yes.
No, that actually doesn't look as bad as the picture showed.
No,
I remember in the catalog, it always... I mean, this is the part that will always look weird, but honestly, I think in person it actually looks a bit better.
It does, yeah.
And honestly, it's actually the
I mean, it's not a very good gate. Let's put it that way.
These are Visorak. They're not the brightest people in the universe. Like,
let's see how well the functions work. These things slide up. Oh, yeah, they hold up. So your wall slides up. Okay.
I mean, that's not the hardest function to do in the universe. So.
And then you just tip it over, and the boulder comes right out. So.
It's pretty straightforward function. Although, what's the function on the top part? You put Visorak in there and it shoots them out?
Yes, it's a Visorak launcher.
So, we have... So the sets have 2 different Visorak launchers. You have this one and the Kalgarak.
What is this? Oh, I see.
He's loading them. You really load the
loading mechanism.
Okay, what they should have done is had an axle going downwards. They can almost just like slide them on.
It's really fun to shoot.
Made a visit. So you not only can you fling them, but you can shoot them.
And of course, you can drop rocks.
I was gonna say this actually really doesn't look that bad.
No, like this.
I mean, the back view is typical from. This is
sets from that era.
Yeah, that isn't. Honestly, like you look at like something like Square Prison Cave from the same year. This isn't really any better.
It's not any worse.
It's got more functions than Square Prison Cave.
Yeah, it's got quite a bit of functions.
Honestly, I would say that this is actually better than I was like much better than I was expecting. I'm quite pleased. If this hand had a thumb, I'd be giving you a thumbs up. But
yeah, I thought it was a great
2-finger.
set. On a scale of 1 to 10 for say 5 different categories for parts. Got some pretty good parts. There's no parts in the minifigs, but on the parts here, it's got lots of gray, so it's good for building rocks. Right?
Black plates are always nice. The dark blue is pretty good.
Give it a pretty 8.5 out of 10.
I was trying to remember what the price of this was when it came out. I think it was like
40.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 40 Canadian. Also, doesn't seem like a bad deal.
Playability? It's pretty good playability.
I mean, look,
you 9 out of 10.
Like I say, you got all 6 Toa, you got 8 Visorak, you got a Visorak launching functions, you got
boulder, catapult.
I mean, the catapult part's kind of lame.
Yeah. There's lots of functions. I give it 9 out of 10 for playability.
That's nice.
Design? It's not bad, actually, the design overall. It's pretty imposing. It definitely has a...
Using
bionicle
that
feel.
as a Visorak head, it actually was a smart idea.
I mean, yeah, the back is all function, no form. Well, the front it looks pretty good, so I'd say 7.5.
Those minifigs.
Minifigs.
You get a lot.
If you count this, yeah, you as many.
But even then, just 6 minifigs isn't bad.
However, they're crap.
You get quantity over quality in this case, and it's just a little.
Give it a 6.5 out of 10.
People just saw at the camera, they looked like an earthquake hit because you bumped the table.
And we'll just say nostalgia.
It is quite old now. This is reaching
really?
20.
It's
It's like 17 years old.
Let's give it a 7 out of 10.
18 years old? 17? I think 17.
For an overall score of, I don't remember all the numbers, so.
I don't know, 7 ish,
Yeah,
7.5.
It's like 7 out of 7.3 out of or something.
Honestly, it's not bad. And the one thing that I was thinking is these stickers on the rocks really just make me think of one of your old diver sets.
Yep.
Instead of fish, they're barnacle numbers. Why? Some nerdy Matoran graffitied on these rocks, I'm pretty sure.
It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
Hey. Stand behind you.
You stand. I'll just chill here. All right, folks. Thank you for watching this, and we'll see you in the next video, maybe.